Hey, what's up, Cap?
Shrub.
Hey, what's going on, Cap?
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you been?
Oh, I've been good. I love that you're early. I can tell you work for the fire department.
No, yeah, I know what it's like if you're like waiting. Are they gonna show up? They're gonna show up. So yeah, not a problem, dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
and thanks for doing this. Like right when I decided I wanted to do this, you were one of the first people that came to my mind that I wanted on the show. So I was like, I hope he agrees to being on this.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, of course. What's new with you? Are you the chief of San Diego yet?
That's a long ways off. That's for sure. Now I'm just down in the South Bay, working at Sixes still. Um, just got off this morning, so feeling good. But yeah, we just work like crazy. Amber and I were running the vaccination site down here for like the past 6 months. So if we weren't at work, we were running the pod of vaccines, and we
Yeah,
finally had to close down that location because the city needed the site back because everything's opening back up again. So
yeah.
now back at regular life, you know. So it was a
Yeah,
good 6 months, and it's cool to be a part of something like that where you vaccinate half the world, you know. So
right,
we'll never see that again in our lifetime, but it's
right.
fun.
So you've been busy to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's nothing normal, you know.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so but yeah, man. So what's up with you? Like when the you're out of state now?
Yeah, so we moved to Arizona about 8 months ago. So we're here, we're right outside of Phoenix. Just everything with the fire department, with my back injury and stuff kind of even getting worse. The city at first, it's a really long story, but they said no matter what worst case scenario, you're either going to go to fire prevention, something like that, and then if not, then you can get a position in another department in the city at the same salary or above. So okay, worst case scenario, that's fine. And then I even had meetings with some chiefs, some personnel from the city, and they all said fire prevention sounds great. Sorry you had to get injured, so early in your career. So that was all set to go. And then I got a letter one day from the personnel department saying, no, that can't happen because you're injured. And so you don't technically qualify to be an inspector if you're injured. It was this whole commotion. So basically, um, I knew eventually they were going to get rid of me because of my injury. And the jobs that they actually were offering me were like minimum wage jobs, like in the Parks and Rec department and stuff like that. Like, because they told me that or what I didn't know at first is you have to qualify for those jobs, and almost every job in the city requires a bachelor's degree.
Hmm.
Just about, I would say half to three quarters. And most of the fire department, not all of us have bachelor's degrees. So, I didn't qualify for almost anything. Like literally the jobs were like 60 to $70,000 pay cuts. Like, and I told them, I was like, wait, this is you guys, getting me a job at the same salary. Like I have a family I support. I'm not gonna take a $70,000 pay cut. And they literally just told me, oh, sorry, it's a hard pill to swallow. So I took that as like, okay, I need to start figuring out something else. And so it took a while to figure it out, but finally when I kind of had a plan in place, that's when I resigned, and that was 8 or 9 months ago now. So
I after you and I talked on the or text,
yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute, what is he up to? And I had no idea that you were even gone.
yeah.
So I was bummed to hear about that, man. I'm sorry, but it
Oh,
seems
it's
like
all good.
things are doing pretty good right now, though. Seems like things are awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy it worked out this way. Like it, at times is a little rough, but then after a while, I figured it's definitely for the best. So, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of people didn't know, since like I was working in recruitment for years, so I wasn't out in the stations, so not like everyone knew I was gone or anything. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
yeah,
man.
awesome. Did you have any questions like about the outline or anything like that before we get started?
Oh, pretty straightforward. So,
And have you been on a podcast before?
one, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what I tell everyone is like, don't worry about like saying certain things or like I can edit anything. So
So basically, I'm gonna re-edit everything that I say.
No, I'm not worried about you. My guest yesterday, it was his first time being on a podcast. He was pretty nervous and mumbling a bit and stuff like that. So I just tried to tell him, hey, don't even worry. Everything could be edited for the most part. So
the last one I was on, like, my dog started like fighting in the background. The guy's like, all right, we're gonna pause real quick. I'm gonna take that out later. I have two huskies, so they're like high energy. They're just going at each other, trying to talk, and I have
yeah.
vaulted ceiling, so it's echoing, and so
Huskies are probably the most like what energetic breed there is.
oh my god, I don't know what I was getting into when I got them, but no, they're great dogs, man. Can't
Oh
complain.
yeah,
And they
love
do
them.
my thing. I have to run every day, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. Those things are balls of energy. I never had a husky, but growing up, we had a couple shepherds, and those are pretty like high strung, high energy animals too. I don't know if they're as energetic as huskies, but
and they're like on the same spectrum.
yeah.
I call it spectrums because those things are
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't fetch though. They're the only dogs that don't fetch. You throw a ball, they're like, "You gonna get that?" Like, I don't know which one to do that, but you threw it. I'm assuming you're gonna go get
it. I didn't know that. I didn't know they didn't fetch.
Just my dogs, of course, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. You have two of them, you said?
Yeah, brother, sister.
Brother and sister.
They're great. They're awesome.
Awesome. So yeah, you ready to get started?
Do it.
All righty. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Mission Driven Made podcast. We have a very impressive guest today, so make sure you stay till the end. Our guest is a captain and paramedic for the San Diego Fire Rescue Department, a director of services for brute force training, and a former CrossFit Games athlete. I want to welcome Captain Tony Taddeo to the Mission Driven Made podcast, where our community inspires people to pursue health, wealth, and purpose. Thanks for being on the show, Cap.
Thanks for having me, buddy.
Yeah, I've been wanting you on the show ever since it started, so I'm glad that we finally got to connect.
Yeah, I appreciate having me.
Yep, of course. So there are so many things that I want to talk about with your experience, which we probably won't have time for a lot of it today. But can you tell us about where you're from, and a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah, for sure. So currently I'm 39 years old. I live in Alpine, California, which, if those of you don't know, it's practically God's country.
Yes.
I had to throw that in there. It's true. I love Alpine.
Yeah.
I grew up mainly in San Diego, born and raised, East County my whole life. Went to El Capitan High School, local colleges around here, strictly to go into the fire service. Played sports my whole life, baseball, soccer, football. I've broken every finger like 25 times from football. And yeah, that's pretty much me in a small nutshell. So that's my upbringing right there. My mom and dad were local, two older sisters, so I was the baby. And yeah, life's been good so far.
Awesome. And what was your sport? I know you played a bunch, but everyone kind of has, their favorite.
I think once I found football was my jam. I played about 10 years between Pop Warner and high school. So I was given an option to go to Colorado State and play, but I knew that I was way too small. So I knew I'd have to probably redshirt for 2 years, put on 60 pounds, probably leave college super unhealthy. So, and I knew I wanted to pursue the fire service.
Yeah.
So I made, and hey, let's take this a different route. So
that's awesome. I didn't know you were almost a collegiate football player. Were you, let me guess, safety or corner?
I was outside linebacker.
And okay.
It's funny. I was about 195 outside linebacker. I got super sick, lost about 30 pounds in high school. I dropped to 165, and I was a guard. They put me at guard. So the guy to my right was 305. The guy to my left was 295. And I was 165. It made no sense. So I must have on linebacker. They put me as a lineman. So
gotcha. So you knew from pretty early that you wanted to be in the fire service?
Yeah, kids, they see like a police car go by. Well, probably not so much nowadays. or the
Yeah.
fire go by. They go, oh, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be a cop. Well, I literally, like, when I saw a fire truck drive by one day, I wanted to be a firefighter. And my parents owned a financial firm, and I used to work there during tax season, dumping trash and filing stuff during high school so I can make a couple bucks. And one of my mom's clients is a firefighter for a city in San Diego called Chula Vista. And he goes, oh yeah, my son wants to get in the fire service. He goes, oh, we have like a cadet program. You should come check it out. Sounds great. And short time later, I joined their cadet program. And 5 years later, left that program and pursue, that was the beginning. At 16 years old, I was given an opportunity to start my pursuit in the fire service in high school, and took full advantage of it. So,
Wow. So 16 years old, that's kind of when you got serious about it.
yeah, I knew I wanted to do it, but I had no direction. I had no idea what to do and how to pursue that. No one told me what to do. I happened to run into someone who, helped me, help lead the way. And
Yeah.
here.
Awesome. And I don't know if I ever told you, I actually went to your family's tax firm a couple times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Back when we were in San Diego.
That's funny. That's awesome. They do taxes for they specialize in fire, EMS, and LEO. So a lot of people see my last name. They're like, Taddeo. You probably get your taxes done at Summit Financial.
Yep.
Oh, I've been going there for 40 years, whatever. So
yeah, no, they were fantastic when we went there.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Better.
And many people don't realize the process of becoming a firefighter or firefighter paramedic, and just how challenging it can be along the way. Can you kind of tell us about your journey from when you first decided that you wanted to do this career till the day you got hired and got that letter, saying you had a job offer?
Absolutely. So I'd say I'm in that 10% of people who start really young and start their pursuit. And nowadays, there's a lot of people who join cadet programs to get going, and they fall out of it because they can't keep up with the workload, or life's too important, or they got to get on their TikTok or whatever it is. But at 16, I joined this Explorer program. I was in there for 5 years, and because it's only a program from 16 to 21. And so at 21 years old, I was done with the program. I'm like, now what? So, and when you're 18, you can start to get hired. So around 19 years old, I started applying for fire departments because I had my EMT and I had my CPR and my high school diploma, which is the bare minimum to apply for most departments. I started applying, had no idea what I was doing, had my applications rejected left and right because no one told me how to fill out applications either. It was all paper applications back then. Asked for some advice, and they say, hey, you need to join a reserve program, so become a reserve firefighter someplace. Sounds great. And so I started applying around the county, got hooked up with a place called Mount Laguna Fire Department.
Oh, yep. I work there too.
It's right. Forgot about that. A lot of people in there, man. It's funny. So I went out there. I was there for just over 2 years. That was 2002, 2003, I believe it was. And that's 3 months when I was there. No, it's 2003, 2004. My third month there, the Cedar Fire hit. And at midnight, we had pagers. That's how awesome it was. Our pagers midnight, and it's like, get up here right now, like the world is burning. We had no idea what was going on. So we went up there, my girlfriend and I met my girlfriend, their now wife. And we were on the Cedar Fire together for 7 days, just driving all over the county, have no idea what we're doing, just putting out fires left and right, no idea what our situational awareness was. And so yeah, after 2 years of volunteer experience and applying all over the West Coast, we applied Arizona, Nevada, all over California, looking for anyone who would hire us. And to get that experience, it was we knew we needed to kind of take the next step. So we had gone through the Explorer program, we had become volunteer firefighters, and I knew I wanted to be a paramedic. And I'm like, well, this is no better time than right now. Let's go to paramedic school. So now my fiance and I went to paramedic school together. And so when we first got into paramedic school, we were also applying for San Diego City. And we looked and we're like, oh, isn't this funny? The academy starts a week after we get married. Wouldn't that be funny if we had to postpone the wedding for the fire academy? What are the chances, right? Well, sure enough, a year later, we passed paramedic school, and we both got our letters at the same time saying, "Congratulations, you're both in the next fire academy." So,
What?
yeah, it's crazy, and so it's the first time in the department's history that a married couple went to the academy together. There'll be people who've been married on the job, but the first
Yeah.
time a couple went through together. And so in that time frame, we had applied for 20 plus departments, I'd say. Getting rejected, getting to the interview, the chief's interview, and sorry, next time. And so we just knew we just had to keep grinding, and just keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding. It was my seventh time, seventh time in the city before I finally got hired. So I just knew that if I just keep swinging the hammer, eventually I'm going to get that job. The nail's going to go in. I'm going to finally get the nod. So it just happened that my wife and I, my fiance at the time,
Wow.
were in the fire academy. So
I had no idea that you guys went through the fire academy together. I didn't know you were married before you guys got on the job either.
yeah, we cut our honeymoon short a week to go into the fire academy.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
And I think one of the most impressive things with all of that is the thought that you were doing this since you were 16. Because I think when I first got introduced to the fire service, working on the ambulance as an EMT and as a medic, and I got hired in my early mid 20s, like it's a lot, the culture, the paramilitary environment. So the thought that you were doing that at 16 years old, that's impressive, and that you just stuck through it.
Yeah, it was a culture shock, that's for sure. I mean, you're 16, besides playing sports and knowing that kind of structure and the teamwork and camaraderie, that translated really easily into the fire service. But then the paramilitary aspect of it was the culture shock. And that was where, we're getting beaten down a lot for what? What are we doing wrong? But they weren't beating us for, I say beating, they weren't beating, sorry. Conditioning us, push-ups, running, all that stuff, making us recite spiels and stuff in the push-up position. They were conditioning us for what was to come, and now looking back, when I was hired in the fire academy for San Diego City, I knew that everything that they had done was for a purpose, and that paramilitary aspect that the fire service is so important, that to have that discipline and that wherewithal to know, okay, this isn't just for fun for them. They're preparing us for when that bell tolls and we have to go to work, for when we have to go into a building, we have to save a life, we have to stay calm so that we can help someone else. So it takes years and years of conditioning to understand that, but it was good to have that early on, so that when I got into the fire academy, it was just like almost second nature.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. So you went through years of this conditioning. By the time you start the academy, it probably wasn't too much of a shock for you as far as like getting yelled at and, running all the time, doing push-ups and everything like that.
No, and you almost thrive on it, because the fire academy is very much a family. You're 30 people going through the exact same experience, but you all have 30 different experiences at the same time, right? And you have to come together as a family, as a whole, in order to be successful. And if you don't come together as a family, there's one person or a couple of people who are just on their own to do their own thing, the whole thing falls apart. It's a house of cards. Yeah. And that was always, a painful thing to see when I was running the fire academies, is when people don't mesh, when there's conflict, when there's anguish in the locker room. It's really toxic. It's a virus. It just spreads and it affects everyone. And that might be the make or break for someone to pass the academy or fail. So having the understanding and the discipline to know that, hey, we are all in this together, and to understand this is a team-based environment, is what makes people successful, and what made us successful in my two academies. I got hurt in my first academy. So and also having my wife in the academy was a massive, building block for me. To have her support and to me support her was awesome. It was a great experience.
And what part of this whole process, from 16 years old till getting into the fire academy, what challenged you the most? Was there any type of roadblocks that you experienced?
Yeah, I mean, the constant no's from fire departments. I mean, it took me 7, 8 years, both me and my wife, to get hired, and that's a lot, man. You start to doubt yourself, and that's just human nature. And just say, man, am I going to get hired? And then you see the fire truck go by, and you're like, well, they made it. Why can't I make it? And so you keep driving, and it comes down to what matters most to you and your personal philosophy. If this is something you really, really want, and if you believe that you can get better and you can improve on the things that you think you lack in, then you're gonna make it. And that's what I tell every recruit, every person going into the fire academy, and people on the job right now. And if you have a 1% mindset, you work on getting better 1% every day, that compounds over time. It might take years, it might take a decade, it might take a couple months. You never know. But if you continuously every day look to how can I make myself better, not just myself, but better myself for my family, for my department, for my crew, for my wife, that's right there is what's going to make you successful. And it took time, and it just took patience, but it worth it. Looking back, I wouldn't change the process one bit. So
Love it. And then same question, but in the fire academy, anything you faced there that was a big roadblock, like failing an evolution or a certification or anything?
Yeah, I'd say like every day was a roadblock, man.
Right.
It's a painful process. You wake up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're like, man, it's like you're halfway through, man. I'm only halfway, and I am this beat up. And I was 24 when I got hired, and I should be like, this is nothing. But every day I was sore. I was tired, mentally in anguish as well as physically. But you just keep your eye on the prize. I was thankful enough I didn't fail any certifications. But my first academy I mentioned my first academy. The week before final testing, I shattered my foot in nine places. It was a weird evolution. We used to have fiberglass ladders at the time, and fiberglass ladder was fully extended, 24 foot, and the person let go of the halyard, which raises the ladder. And my foot happened to be in the way because I was trying to help spot the ladder for him, and it guillotined my foot and shattered it in 9 places. And even though I was wearing the appropriate boots, it basically crushed my boot and crushed my foot. So that was, of course, one major roadblock. 1 week before final testing, I'm almost there. Week 11, only one more week, and I got this.
Oh, painful.
That almost instantaneously that my career was over. I mean, I looked at my foot, and I thought that I was going to lose some toes. I'd never walked the same again. And I was fortunate enough that it broke in place. It was just a pretty gnarly break. I had a couple small surgeries to repair some arteries, but I still have some nerve issues in my foot, but it doesn't impede me in any way. I was able to come back 6 months later for the next academy and finish the academy, the second academy. So I can't complain, man. That was obviously, I thought for sure I was never going to be a firefighter after that. I thought that was my one chance. I'm going to work at, Denny's the rest of my life, and that's as good as it's going to get. And yeah, it was heartbreaking. So, but I knew it was just a setback, and I had to wrap my brain around, okay, you got to focus on recovery. You got to focus on getting yourself back in academy shape is what I like to call it. Get ready for that beat down again. And then I went through a whole nother academy, and finally passed that academy. So,
oh my gosh,
that much fun. Why not go through it twice? So.
So was it at a certain point in your recovery when you knew you could still do this? Like, when did your mindset kind of shift?
I think when I could walk again.
Got it.
When I didn't need a cast or a boot anymore, and I could flex my toes and I could feel them again, I knew, okay, it's time to start training. We got to get this back. And there's that 1% mindset, 1% mindset, 1% mindset. And then when I was medically cleared by the city, they said, okay, you're clear for the next academy. I said, okay, well, now I have to prove myself that I can still do it, because I was way behind physically at that point. 6 months of almost no training. I had a lot of work to do, and so I just worked my ass off and was able to be successful in the second academy. But I knew, like, this is it, man. I got my get out of jail free card. I can't let this slip away. I'm not gonna throw away my shot here. So I think because I worked so hard up to that point, from 16 to 25 years old, 24 years old, I worked so hard that I can't let this up now. I can't let it go. So I won't let it go. So, and here I am today. So still got 2 feet, So.
Right. And it's great to hear that, because I remember, especially coming on the job, looking up to you and to other people that I viewed as very successful. It's easy to just see you in that position and your success at the time and not realize all the things that you went through to get there. Like, I had no idea that you messed up your foot. I didn't know you had to get rolled into another academy. I didn't know you were trying for 8 years. I just figured you were a stud and got hired in, 2 years or something.
I wish so, but no, I'm human like everyone else. And, I have erred in my process of being hired, and tried to go one way that didn't work, tried to go that way, didn't work. And I knew that if I just kept at it, and surround myself with good people, and the best support to go through with my wife, which was invaluable, to have us support each other in our pursuit for our careers was awesome. And we knew, like, the chance of us getting hired together was going to be slim to none.
Right.
Okay, well, wherever you get hired, we will support each other, so the other person will get hired, and vice versa. And we were planning on, if you get hired in Las Vegas, whatever, we're gonna make this work. If I have to move out there and continue my pursuit, we'll make this work, because we're dedicated to each other and our success. So having like, is it like your wingman? You get your wingman. So you go through it together to make sure you're both going to be successful. That was man. I couldn't imagine doing it alone. I just couldn't imagine doing it alone.
Are you guys, as being a married couple on the job, can you work on the same shift?
The same shift we can, but not the same station.
Got it.
And that's a policy in case there's like a Saving Private Ryan event where
right,
whole crew goes down and then you lose an entire family, something like that. We have worked on the same rig together, like randomly, on the same station, like on overtime basis and stuff, but we can't do it permanently.
Got it.
We've worked the ambulance together. We've been partners together on some calls, which has been pretty cool. If there's like a holiday, like a Thanksgiving, and we're able to work in the same station, we'll try to do that, but permanently can't do that. So
gotcha.
Amber's sister, because she's on the job as well. They tried to be in the same station together, and they won't let them do that. So
gotcha. And so I want to talk a bit about the CrossFit Games, because I know you've been to CrossFit for a long time. How did you get into CrossFit, and what did it take to make it to the CrossFit Games? Because I've never got a chance to ask you that.
So I've always been, I've had an addictive personality. That's why if I ever did drugs, I don't know, I'd probably die within a day, because I'm addicted to my passion, my love, and I've always loved being physically active, and sports made me that way. And in my first year on the job, was 06, 07, right when CrossFit was kind of coming out as being a thing, And my buddy, my academy mate, he said, "Hey," he goes, "You ever heard of CrossFit?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've done a couple CrossFit workouts here and there, And he goes, "Well, dude, they're putting on a seminar for free if you want to come with me this weekend and do it." It was a CrossFit Level 1 seminar. To get it just free. Now it's like, $5 million to do a Level 1 certification. So I went to the fire department and said, "Yeah, come get your Level 1 cert." So we went to this seminar and learned all about CrossFit, and I dove into it headlong and started going to 24-hour fitness and do my CrossFit workouts. And someone takes your barbell and you're like, "God dang it, what the hell? I need a regular gym."
Yep.
So left 24-hour fitness after years of being there, and found a gym called CrossFit SoCal. I was a recommendation someone on the job gave me. Said, hey, where do I go? They said, go to SoCal. Great place. A lot of firefighters went there. A lot of LEO went there as well, and just fell in love with it. Like this is what I've been waiting for so long. Like you go to 24-hour fitness, you try these different programs, these little deck of cards that people have out there, and P90X, whatever it is, and nothing ever. I was always still looking. What's going to fit me, and this has fit me. This is what I loved, and came home after my first day at CrossFit, throw up all over myself. I'm like, Amber, you're going to love this. She goes, absolutely not. I ain't doing that. So, but she started coming, and so we'd go after work to CrossFit. And so from like 07 to 09 or 10, 2010, just fell, headlong into it. And then finally they're like, hey, there's this thing called the Open. We should do the Open together, So all of us did the Open, and it was, just heart wrenching, and, it really showed you, where you lack in everything. And I said, okay, well, I really want to do this. I really want to compete now. I think I can do this. So the next year, I think it was 2011, actually, we went to LA and competed as a team after the Open, and had no idea what competition was about. I just thought we were going to go and have a good time. There are these monsters there just doing stuff, and we're on a team, and I ended up overdoing it on a deadlift workout and strained my psoas in the middle of the workout, and finished the workout, but the damage is done. I couldn't finish the rest of the weekend. It was pretty bad, but I knew, okay, I know where my limitations are, and I know what I need to do to improve. So 2012 came along, and I had bust my ass for almost 3 years now, and we hit the Open, crushed the Open, went to regionals. Everyone who went to regionals from my gym crushed the regionals, and hit the podium, third place, and I was going to the games, and decided, like, well, we have so many amazing people at this gym who all qualified, that we're going to make one hell of a team. So we went as a team, and we killed it, had a great time. We actually finished second in the world in one of the workouts, and crushed like everyone else in this workout. It was just incredible. So much fun to hear people like screaming at you. But to be a part of that weekend was absolutely insane. And to see like what we had done up to that point to get to the games was incredible. We were 4 to 6 hours a day in the gym. I was weighing and measuring my food. I had my sleep pattern done. My nutrition was dialed in. I mean, it was a lifestyle of competition. And at that same time, our daughter was born. And I knew, okay, something's got to give. I've competed 2010, 11, 12, and it's taken its toll on me. 4 to 6 hours a day, 6 days a week, plus the job, that we were doing with the fire department, was just a lot. And I'm like, I'm going to give it one more try to go back to the game. So in 2013, went back to regionals, and did not nearly train as hard as I did the previous 3 years. And I bonked in the middle of a workout, just full on bonk, just like had like nothing else in the tank, and just knew like, I just got to get to this workout. And the fun thing about it, it was the same workout. They repeated the workout that I strained my psoas in.
Right.
So of course, like they bring this thing full circle, and I'm ready for it, and I bonk. So I finished the workout, and that was it. And the picture on my Facebook page is of me, and I wrote my daughter and my wife's name on my chest, and I keep it up on my Facebook because it's a reminder of why I competed, like my driving force. So
Awesome.
yeah. So dialed back with CrossFit after 2013, started coaching a lot more, doing a lot more of the seminars, and was coaching at probably 3 or 4 gyms at the time. But life had to shift. I needed to do something, and life had to shift a little bit. So, and stopped competing altogether, and felt better physically. So
Yeah.
Then so coached a little bit on the side, so did personal training. But I wasn't going to a lot of the gyms anymore. Had built out my garage for a full-on gym, and I still have it to this day. And so now I just took that out of my gym or out of my garage. I'm no longer coaching with CrossFit anymore at any kind of a gym or my house. Just enjoying fitness the best I can and enjoying the job as well. So
Awesome.
to say that I went with like my friends to the games was incredible. It was a much better experience than going as an individual, because I mean, you're there, like you build this family of people who you trained with day in, day out, with them just as much as I was with my wife. And so it was incredible. It's good.
And is CrossFit still your main programming principle, just to keep yourself in shape for the job? Like, do you still do it a lot, or is it more of just enjoying it, like you were saying?
No, I still have a reason for training. I make sure that no matter what I do, it's to better myself in every possible way. This morning I'm out of my shell. I'm doing some Peloton stuff now, which, by the way, cycling is just absolutely bone crushing. It's something completely out. I'm enjoying it because it's a great challenge, and I'm looking forward to improving in that aspect. But no, I still, my garage gym is a complete CrossFit setup. I work a lot more with some odd objects, but I still head with the barbells. I've definitely ramped down my intensity. If I don't want to RX one day, I'm not going to RX, but I make sure that at 39 years old, I'm still keeping up with the kids in their 20s. So
yeah, you definitely are. I've seen you train before. And another thing I've always kind of wanted to ask you, you sort of answered it earlier in a way, but with all the success that I've seen you have, and you competing at the highest level in multiple ways, was there a time you just failed miserably at something? I'm not talking about like, oh, I could have improved, but absolutely just failed.
Oh yeah. Oh geez, where do I start?
I have to hear one story if you can think of one.
I mean, well, shoot. I'd say, like, I did touch on it briefly, but the workout that I bonked at for regionals, I had to perform at that workout in order to do better and for us to go on. And because I bonked, we didn't. But that was just like in a team aspect. But I mean, I think that no matter everything we do in life, we go through trial and error, right? And we fail miserably. But from the job to, 8 years of trial and error of getting hired, or trying to get hired with multiple fire departments. I went out for our SWAT team. I failed miserably at that. I found out that I can't swim, so I did the O course. That was awesome. Went through the whole whole SWAT testing. That was awesome. And then you have to do a full swim test, and because they do Coast Guard missions, and they'll fly out a medic, with the Coast Guard, and so you had to be able to swim in your flight suit, like 100 meters, whatever it was, and then you had to tread water for 3 minutes in your flight suit and your boots, and you had to dive down to the bottom of this thing and whatever. It wasn't hard, right? Like, I've tread water before, and it's no big deal. But for some reason, you put boots on a flight suit on me, man, I sound like a rock, and it was I could not do it. I gassed out, because I was just trying to power out of it, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna drown. You just gotta stop. Talking to the instructors afterwards, they're like, what happened? We did not think you were going to do that. I'm like, I had no idea what to expect. I figured I had practiced in the pool, but you change the environment, you put boots and a helmet and a flight suit on someone, and man, I sound like a rock. So failed miserably at that. That's for sure. I went back to, I've been heavy into training with our department, and been a part of our training division for a long time. And when I made captain, I went back to become an academy instructor, and walked into my interview and just completely just fumbled over myself, and I didn't get the spot. So as an academy instructor, even though I'd been an assistant instructor for almost 10 academies, the assistant academy coordinator for 4 academies, I walked in there unprepared, plain and simple, and I didn't get the spot. And it was well deserved that I didn't get it, because spoke to my mentor who was there interviewing me, which is even worse, right? Like your
Oh
mentor.
no.
And I was like, I am so sorry for my performance. He goes, oh, yep, yeah, it wasn't that good, So,
Brutally
so
honest.
brutally honest, and it doesn't matter what you've accomplished in life and what you've done, you still have to strive every day for the next thing, the next thing, and the next thing. I have it written on my whiteboard in my gym, to be a better husband, father, athlete. And that's been up there since I competed, but husband, father, son, husband, father, firefighter, whatever you want to do it. But I in that order, I can't be the father I need to be unless I'm the husband I need to be, and unless I'm the firefighter I need to be, So you have to constantly work every day to get better and maintain what you have and continue to strive for more. So, it's that 1% mindset. When you let that 1% mindset falter, the things you want to do they won't come to fruition. So you have to constantly work at it. And so I've absolutely failed. I fail daily at stuff, and I fail when I don't even know I probably failed. But there's been milestones in my life, like those few moments right there, where I had a wake up call, like, hey, ain't nothing coming to you easy, bro. You better get on it. You better wake up. So, and I think that's a great thing that we try to teach our daughter, is that you have to work every day. You want to play softball, we got to work every day. You want to play piano, we got to work every day. She goes to CrossFit now, my daughter. Like, you want to lift, you better lift often, and so she's taking it to heart now. And have fun while you're doing it, but you need to strive for more. You need to strive every day to be better. So that's what we do, is how we serve the public, is we have to become better every day. So
Your daughter's going to be a professional something, especially having both of you guys as parents.
I hope so. I give me my meal ticket one day, I'm gonna have to give her a phone call one day and say, hey, dad needs some. So
Awesome. And then I want to transition a bit into your other role, the director of services for brute force training. Can you tell us how you got connected with that, and then what your role entails?
yes. So when I was assistant academy coordinator, I think it was my second or third academy, I had been piecemealing the physical aspect of Code 9 and the workouts together with the fire academy, kind of like as we went. We didn't have a lot of equipment. We had some, but you can't be throwing recruits into CrossFit style workouts every day and just crush them. The workload enough is heavy. But I knew we needed to give some kind of a hard workout that prepare them for final testing, prepare them for the job. And so and I'm pretty sure that the workouts were highly effective. So maybe not, but
Oh, they were great, and I loved that you didn't just run us every day. You did a combination of CrossFit, some circuit style training, and running. I thought that was fantastic.
You say that now. You say phone call. I'm sure you have a couple words for me, but I wanted something. I needed something else, And so the guy on the job says, "Oh, hey, have you ever heard of brute force sandbags?" I had no idea. You should check them out. They'd be great for the fire academy. So he gave me the number. I contacted the owner. He goes, "Yeah, sure, man." He goes, "We're a small company in Colorado. I'll send you some gear. Let me know what you think." He sends me out 3 pieces of gear. I start working out with it and realize this is kind of that same feeling I got when I first hit CrossFit. Like, hey, you know what? There's something here that's really valuable and cost effective and portable and highly effective. And came home one day, like I did with CrossFit, and throw up all over myself. I'm like, Amber, like, I'm doing this with the camera. She goes, have at it. I want nothing to do with that. And so contacted the guy. I said, yeah, we're doing this. Wrote up a proposal with our department. Next thing I know, we have 30 plus sandbags at the training division, and we're training every day. And then I was posting on social media for it. And the guy from Brute Force Sandbags calls me He goes, "Hey, dude," he goes, "I see what you're doing in San Diego. Pretty crazy. I love the fire service aspect in those workouts." He goes, "Would you be willing to come out to Colorado and train some fire departments?" I said, "Absolutely, I can do that." He goes, "Cool. I'm gonna pay your way. I'm gonna pay you the whole weekend, and then we'll go from there." I'm like, "I can do that." So fly to Colorado and train these two fire departments all weekend with like fire service related movements and train the different kind of stuff. And it's highly successful. Everyone was like loving on it, and they want to get into their departments, and awesome. So he's driving me back to the airport after the weekend. It was a great weekend. I was on cloud nine because I was up here again like that when I first hit CrossFit. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "Thank you so much for coming out here. And just so you know, this is kind of like my interview for you as well. I like what I see. I want to bring you on full time as one of my tactical head coaches. I'm going to fly you all over the states, and you're going to train fire departments for me." I said, "I can do that." So, and I was getting paid for it. So I started flying all over the place, setting up these trainings for fire departments and teaching them about tactical fitness and mission based movements, and show them how to implement it into their department. And it just kept on growing and growing and growing to where we started doing seminars. And we got to a point where we were growing too fast for what we were able to produce. And so it was a little about 2 years ago, he calls me back and says, "Hey," he goes, "on top of being my tactical head coach," he goes, "I need you to be in charge of all the fire services now. So I need you to take care of their accounts. I need you to continue the training, can create training programs, all the online training, all that stuff." I can do that. So for the past 2 years, I've been the director of fire services, and anything fire department related goes through me. I go out there, train their fire departments, create programs for them, and then kind of just on a quarterly basis, meet up with them again, continue some trainings, and make sure that they're constantly, on the up and up with their fitness, and that they're progressing. Make sure that they don't get stagnant with their gear and the gear doesn't go into the corner. But yeah, the unstable load, odd object aspect of the sandbags translates and correlates specifically to the fire department in every way. Nothing that we pick up on the fire service is perfectly round and cylindrical or perfect square. It's always oddly shaped, off balance. And so training that way with fire departments is a great way to keep your body in tune for the job at hand. You go from sleeping in the middle of the night to 2 a.m., the tones go off, and 5 minutes later, you're going to a fire. It's a lot for the body to take. And when you do that repeatedly over and over and over, it really taxes, your system, neurologically and physically. People start to get injured. But if we train for unstable load environments, if we train for our job specifically with unstable loads, your body is more in tune to respond faster and more effectively. Because if your body is primed at all times, ready to go, then you're going to reduce injury dramatically. And what we've noticed that when we implemented the sandbags into the fire academy, we weren't seeing a lot of extra or additional injuries. They were kind of going away because people were more in tune with how to move, how to pick up things, and they're more physically conditioned. So it's been a great avenue to help people with their pursuit of fitness, and also like departments have lay out something for them to say, "Hey, here's how you can implement this and reduce injury and hopefully prevent death." So it's been great. It's been great. COVID hit and that kind of shut some stuff down, but the online training happened, and I've been running a lot of online programs for departments and individual people. So it's been fun. It's great. It's always fun to find ways to help people, and then you see it click with them and how they're now going to take that and show someone else and show someone else, and the compound effect is there. So it's a lot of fun. I love it.
Awesome. And is there any new projects you're working on kind of for the future that you can share with us regarding brute force?
Yeah. So we are currently in the process of kind of revamping our whole training program, how we're going to approach training, and more of like a building block phase. So phase one, uh, see how I can explain this without giving the whole thing away, 'cause can't talk about all of it. Haven't been given authorization yet,
Got
But
it.
basically, we're going to start here with the fundamentals of how to move with unstable load and odd objects, and then to build in, 2, 3, and 4, like a quarterly phase, build into more of a wellness style approach to mobility, nutrition, sleep, and all that stuff. So it's going to be more encompassing. I'm working on a lot more training programs specifically for the fire service in general, so that people can have that their on duty program. It's called the on duty series, so that you need 10 to 20 minutes a day. That's all you got. Boom, we got it for you. It sucks when you're at the station and you get a call, but in your middle of the workout. But that's the job, right? So can we maximize our time and effort into a condensed period, so that you get still the most effectiveness and bang for your buck, really, for what we're doing. So a lot of stuff coming down the pike in regards to training, but the gear, I mean, the gear speaks for itself. That'll never change, but always going to be improving on how we can help our clients and help the operational personnel, improve their fitness.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely be on the lookout for all the projects you have in the future. Really excited to see what else you're going to do, even though you've done so much. And so this is actually going to be the last segment of the show. I want to give you the floor for just a couple minutes. So you've accomplished so much in your life already, and I wish we could literally go over every detail, because this has been awesome so far today. But for any listeners that are out there, they're looking to compete at the absolute highest level in life, and that can be business, sports, or it can be the fire department, just like you. What would you suggest for them to do so?
Man, it just comes down to passion. It comes down to what you love, and in all honesty, if you can find a way to serve the many, that will lead to greatness. And it's a famous quote I love. Find a way to serve the many. Serve the many leads to greatness. And what that means to me is you find what you love. You find what drives you. What is your passion? What is your personal philosophy? You can find what that is, and you take off with it, because it is what you love to do. There will be no end in sight. You will continuously be more and more successful because you love what you do. You'll never falter from that. And I think that my wife Amber and I have taken that to heart, literally in everything we do, with our daughter, to fitness, to our job, is that we're never going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. You work hard, you play harder. And because of that, it strengthens our relationship. It strengthens our financial means, our physical means, our psychological approach to life. And you just got to find what works for you, man. And when you find what works for you and you're happy, and you wake up every day saying, yes, yeah, I am happy right now for what I do, for what I am, for what I've accomplished, you continuously find more and more into what you're doing, and build on it. That's all it is, man. It's a 1% mindset. You keep going through that 1% mindset, get better 1% a day, improve 1% a day in everything you're doing, whatever it's, physically or with your job. You'll continuously be happy, and you'll continuously have more than what you need. So, and I'm excited for what's next for me, for my wife, for my daughter. And so, I don't know, my dogs are like waiting for me to go give them a run right now. They're like slowly just kind of circling me. But yeah, it may sound cheesy, but honestly, man, it just comes down to, be happy with what you have, and build on what you have, because that's your foundation. Your relationship with your spouse is your foundation. What are you going to do to build on that, to make it a more successful relationship? What are you going to do right now with your job that's going to build on that to make it more successful, bring you in more money? We all want that financial freedom, right? So what are you going to do about it? He ain't gonna come to you. You know, you got to grind like the rest of everyone else.
That's
So,
right.
I mean, I hope all those. I mean, I'm a millennial, but I hope those other people beyond me, or whatever's next after millennials, I hope that they take it to heart. Like, hey, man, TikTok ain't gonna work for you, man. You got to get off the TikTok. You got to start grinding. So I always pick on TikTok. I don't know what it is. I'm sorry, TikTok. I got nothing against you, but put the phone down and start grinding on something else. So.
Oh, I love that. That was great. So the takeaway is get off TikTok.
Yeah, well, that's all my daughter wants. She goes, "I'm gonna get a phone to get on TikTok." Absolutely not. You'll never as long as I'm around. So
awesome. And Captain Taddeo, where can people connect with you?
Right here in Alpine.
Perfect.
So, yeah, just stop by. You can hit me up either you can text me, you can email me, you can find me on Instagram, send me a direct message, or Facebook. I don't know if I just give that information, Jake, or whatever, but those are the best ways to get to me. I get direct messages all the time with questions on Instagram. That seems to be a great way for people to connect. As I'm talking about TikTok, I'm talking about Instagram, So those are probably the best ways to get to me and go from there. So
awesome.
I'm happy to help and serve in any way I possibly can.
Yep, I'll link all that information in the show description so people can reach out to you if they need to.
Awesome,
so thank you, everyone, for listening to the Mission Driven Made podcast. If you found value in this, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. I'm really excited to announce that I have a book coming out in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Captain Taddeo, thank you for bringing so much value to all the listeners today. I appreciate it so much. Until next time, everyone, stay mission driven. And done.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you.